Why don't we quick just state who everybody is going across.
All right.
I know you.
All right, Mr. Keith Little.
What do you do?
Oh, he just wants the name right now.
Oh, okay.
My name?
Yeah.
Hey, James Solberg. This is Keith Little.
Oh, that's Mr. Keith Little. I'm Barry Jim, the director of the Cincy Blues Fest.
Okay. Well, why don't you tell me a little bit, whoever wants to go first can, why you're here, it's Culan, Wisconsin.
We're here supporting Cincinnati artists. We're giving them the flowers while they live, and we're just sitting up here having a good time. Networking together.
Yeah, checking it out.
That's right. Cincinnati United Local Artists Network and the Greater Cincinnati, well, the Cincy Blues Society. That's since it's been changed, right?
Yeah. And from my perspective, we're here because we want to support Keith Little and all that he's doing, and you know, all that these guys do for the music. I mean, seriously, it's about the music, and these guys personify what the music means to us and to Cincinnati. I mean, we are in Cincinnati, ground zero for American roots music, and I think you see that tonight in all that Keith does with Culan. You see blues, gospel, rap, groove, funk. You see it all. That's what it means, you know, to be Cincinnati.
That's right, we covered the gamut.
In the
Our
music.
genres. Mr. Solberg?
Gots to have soul.
Got to have soul, that's right.
Seriously, man. I mean, this is cool. Keith puts this together, puts us all together, and get out and have a good time. You ought to be here. You should have came.
Oh, they missed it,
You
didn't
should have
they?
came.
Yeah, you missed it.
Because you get a chance to see all the top acts in town, exposing their soul.
And some nights, you know, when you're least expecting it, you can be with like a living legend.
Oh, no doubt.
This guy. Who knows? Every night you go out, you don't know what you can expect.
And we try to bring them all to light. Just keeping our history going and current, so let you know who's walking amongst you. That's here in Cincinnati that helped make Cincinnati great. What's the same way?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you come to Cincinnati to begin with?
Well, because she had a better job than I did. You know, it really doesn't. To answer that question, it doesn't matter where I live because I live the world. I mean, I'm always moving around the planet, playing the blues and spreading the word. And it don't matter where you live. My band guys, they're still in Chicago and Minneapolis. And somehow or another, when we get together for dates, and we do it. But I sure would enjoy meeting more cats here in town. So I knew, well, maybe I don't need them guys up in Chicago no more. You know, and I really. I'm ashamed to say I haven't gotten out as much as I'd like to. You know,
But you're working.
you know, when you're 20 years old and you're in New York City or Chicago, you go out and you meet everybody you can, you know, and now I'm just an old man, and it's kind of hard to live like that anymore.
I feel like talking to people.
But I still enjoy meeting you all, and,
That's a bunch of
and
them
hanging with y'all and playing with y'all.
So there you go.
And it's my fault. I need to get out more. I need to let you all know that I do live here in Cincinnati, and I'd like to meet more of you. I'd like to meet more musicians. I mean, this guy's got soul. You want to talk about soul? Put that camera on this man.
Uh-oh. Well,
That's soul, and that's what it takes to play music.
You gotta have it. Yeah, no doubt you gotta have it. And hopefully that we can talk with Barry there. Maybe he can get with Dave. Maybe get you on the festival this year. They haven't booked everything.
Is this the guy?
Yeah.
He's the
Well, then you gotta talk to my. Let's see who. You gotta talk to my people, man.
There's always there's always people.
We got people. Everybody got people.
Everybody has people, but
We got people.
I think from the Cincy Blues Fest perspective, I mean, we want to recognize, as Keith is here tonight, the guys who are doing it, out there doing it, working musicians, and out there, keeping the blues alive. I mean, our goal is to keep not blues, not gospel, the whole genre of American roots music alive.
Amen. American roots.
There you go.
I got a great story about when Luther and I played at that time was a Queen City Blues Fest.
Yeah, that's 97.
Well, that was 95.
95 then?
95. I was about, I was 14.
Well, that's all right. I was 9 years old. But anyway, well, it's funny. I do remember that fest, and it was a really nice festival.
Yeah, that's right.
And I remember we had to play Montreal the next night, and we had to charter a plane to get to Montreal because we had to go from there to Portland, Maine, or no, Portland, the other place, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
We were on these whirlwind tours, but we had to charter a plane out of here so we could make it to Montreal and through the customs in time and blah, blah, blah. Well, we didn't know that Cincinnati Airport was in Kentucky. So even though we had our own airplane, we still blew it. But, yeah, we got to the gig, but it was a nightmare. But I remember that festival.
By the time Luther had just moved over there, planning on moving to Stanley, he was already over there at that time.
Paris?
Paris, yeah.
Well, we started playing there across the drink in 76. And if you remember those years, that was disco era.
Yeah.
And I was very fortunate that I was playing with Luther because we were almost the only people.
We tried to forget those.
we were on Motown Records then, so we had all that going.
Yeah.
And we were fortunate enough that we were still playing every night of the year, where most people weren't. And all my friends weren't playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Every place turned into a disco. And this Europe stuff started happening. And not only did that start happening, this started happening.
Started coming in, yeah.
Hey, baby. And it got to the point where we go over here and we're getting 10 grand a night, come over here and play $400 a night.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to make?
Don't stay over there.
But both mine and Luther's real thing was we wanted to make it at home. We didn't want to be stars in Europe. We wanted to be, accepted here in our own country. And that's what's the saddest thing about it.
Yeah.
And Luther did finally move there, actually in about '83.
Okay.
But we were playing there so much, he might as well live there.
So where did you start out?
Me? Start out?
Yeah. Where'd you start out?
You mean what town?
yeah. The time, like, how old were you and where'd you start?
Let's see, how did that work? It's a long story. I was in Wisconsin playing in '60s cover bands. But I was always Luther and I met in '68 in the West Side, Chicago. And every night we hook up. This even goes back farther because Freddie King had a hit called Hideaway.
Yeah.
That was in '61.